Alright, here we are in round 5. We have taken an interesting hand here that does cast Aetherworks Marvel, but awkwardly is going to need to delay just one turn in order to get enough energy out. So I think we're going to just start a little bit slower here and go with a tap land. Don't need to show them what we're doing just yet. We will show them the new land. Opponent's on colorless, potentially. This could just be some like Eldrazi stand deck. That is a valid strategy to be working on. So I think here we go for Drone of Truth number 2. We're going to go attune with Aether here. Start to get moving here. We have a lot of green in hand, so we'll go blue on the fetch. And I think we hide the Aetherworks Marvel for a little bit unless they show black or something like this. Blast Zone comes down. We're going to use the Solar Transformer, I think. Emrakul the World anew. We've already played it once this series, but now it's in our hand, so that's not super great. I can evoke a Null Drifter, or I can play a tap land and go Solar Transformer. Puts me at 5 energy. Now if we draw one of our 1-mana spells, this does get us an Aetherworks Marvel on our next turn. Things are looking good. Like if we don't find it here, I'm going to Null Drifter, evoke. Or actually I can go Aetherworks Marvel into Null Drifter evoke, which is even better. Okay, so we go Aetherworks Marvel this turn. I want to not spend an energy to do that, so let me play an untapped land. Here's Aetherworks Marvel. Yeah, okay, right. I forgot that that also produces colorless mana, that's right. So we're going to have 6 mana next turn, just one shy of Null Drifter. Opponent's going for Forsaken Monument, and I think here we just go Null Drifter for Evoke cost. We'll draw 2 cards with 3 extra mana sitting. There's our Tune the Narrative, and there's our 6 mana or 6 energy for Aetherworks Marvel. Let's just play Tune the Narrative now, get moving a little bit faster, and next turn we're set up for Drowner of Truth. We're going to pass, holding up Aetherworks Marvel, and hopefully hit something good. Even's Labyrinth here, so this is going to be Eldrazi. We have 2 mana, 4 mana, 5, 6, 7 right now. And a bit more because of Forsaken Monument. So something big is about to be played. Let's see what happens. It's going to be Ulamog the Defiler. That's fine. We're going to lose the top half of our library, which sucks. And this Ulamog is going to have so many counters on it. Yeah, so we have to let the exile trigger happen first. That does not feel very good. They'll gain some life, Ulamog will come down, and then now we have to hit our own Ulamog here. 10 counters. We're going to sack our whole board if this thing attacks. 1 Ulamog is gone, a bunch of Ulamogs are gone. I am not liking my chances here of hitting with Aetherworks Marvel. Oh yeah, I don't think we have very many hits here. Especially with these in our hand. Yeah, this is tough. Guardian Idol, you got it. This one might be a resounding loss here. Let's see what we find off of Aetherworks Marvel. Maybe we can find something that deals with Ulamog, maybe not. We'll see. It'll be a Null Drifter here. We'll see if they want to sack their sack their Ulamog to my Annihilator trigger. And then we can tune the narrative here on their end step as well. Let's do this. And we can tune the narrative one more time. We'll get a second look at Aetherworks Marvel here, which is nice. Resolves. And move to our turn. So the problem is I'm going to lose my entire board here when they attack, and I won't be able to do anything. So the most in terms of mana I can make is this. This is 3, 6, 7 total. Null Drifter is not really the answer here, sadly. It's going to have to be Aetherworks Marvel here. And I don't really have any way of checking the top of my library, so let's just go ahead and try to rip an answer here. This will be another Aetherworks Marvel. That unfortunately is not going to do it. That'll give us 2 mana and an untapped thing. We'll be able to go 3-4 with Null Drifter. And then maybe we lose our on the battlefield Null Drifter. It's hard to say. I think we would basically just need to play this in any case. We will trigger keep this. And yeah, I think that's unfortunately the last thing that we've got going on here. So 3, 6, 7, 8. If I cast Drowner of Truth, I'm going to have 10 permanents other than Aetherworks Marvel to sacrifice. So then I might have one last chance of hitting. Alright, here we go. We are into the full last throes of death. Let's move to attacks here. This may as well attack and get an Annihilator trigger ×1. And we are going to have one last attempt at it here. And it will be during their combat step. Now, what would happen is if I'm able to hit an Emrakul, which actually I don't think I have another one in, so that actually might not happen, but ripping an Emrakul would be pretty nuts. It would be like that game we played earlier. We put them to 20, but it's about to get real bad for us here. Let's see what 10 Annihilator triggers looks like on the stack. We'll be able to keep one land. They have a Platinum Angel. Okay. Let's try that. And let's see if we can survive an Ulamog trigger here. One ring, sure. It's looking pretty good for the opponent. The one ring, sure. And here's the attack trigger. Alright. So, Annihilator 10. We'll let that happen. Sacrifice 1, 2. Actually, probably want a blocker. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all of our lands. Big triggers on Aetherworks Marvel now. Resolve. And let's just only resolve till we get 6 energy. We'll activate Aetherworks Marvel and see if there's an answer in here. It's just another Aetherworks Marvel. Okay. That's fine. We'll keep this one and gain some more. And if we had any more answers in our library, we probably would have found them by now. We have whiffed 3 times in a row here in our last death throws. Looking pretty sad, but man, look at the legs we have here on this deck. The last card of the game will be a Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. I think from here I'm just probably not even blocking with Drowner of Truth. We'll actually go to 5 of these, and then I will get a 6th if I sacrifice my Drowner of Truth, so it's not the end of the world. I do get to go to my turn again, and somehow it almost doesn't feel like we're immediately going to die. Final hit here. I think we've probably exhausted every answer that is possibly in this deck. They got really lucky with their exile. I think the last death throw will be the Solar Transformer. And with that, we are going to say goodbye to this life and goodbye to the end of the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Even though not all games went as smoothly as they possibly could have been, definitely some interesting builds here. Really cool to see this Forsaken Monument Eldrazi deck, or I guess colorless ramp deck, pretty strong here. And it was kind of funny seeing how Aetherworks Marvel was able to go so far off. Unfortunately, just didn't have the answers in the deck to support it, but hey, if things were able to roll a different way, we might have been sitting alive right now. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed the deck. This one was a lot of fun to play, and I hope that you guys give it a good try on your own. Make sure to like and comment, helps with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, I'm back, and Modern Horizons 3 has dropped. We have some fun new cards to play today, and what I'm targeting first is going to be the Energy Aetherworks deck. This is a deck that's existed in Historic for a long time, but now we actually have a lot of new cards that A, are better payoffs for it, and B, help the Aetherworks Marvel plan go a little bit quicker. So the original card that this deck was built around is Aetherworks Marvel, a 4-mana artifact that basically gives you an energy anytime a permanent goes into the graveyard, so we want to have a lot of synergy there. And if you pay 6 energy and tap this thing, you get to look at the top 6 and cast 1 for free. So in the original deck, we played things like Attune with Aether, Rogue Refiner that both do something and give us energy, and then we also had the big banger at that time, which was Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. For 2 mana, you get 3 life and 3 energy. And for 2 and a green, you can basically get that trigger again. So this could actually represent all the 6 mana that you need to get an Aetherworks Marvel on the battlefield. So that means that you would just basically play this on turn 2, spend your turn 3 trying to find a land to play in order to ramp towards Aetherworks Marvel, and additionally activating that Wood Weaver's Puzzle Knot to get the remaining 6 or the remaining 3 of your 6 energy counters. And then your turn 4 would just be playing Aetherworks Marvel, hold it up, and then activate it at the last second. So now we actually have a few other cards that give us this energy counters. Tune the Narrative being one of them, also comes from Modern Horizon 3. This card is for 1 mana, basically 1 mana draw card, which is already pretty good by historic standards and timeless standards. I guess I'll mention that this deck is both historic and timeless legal, but I've chosen to play it in historic today because we can take advantage of the best format to play this in because it's legal in both, and B, we can dodge some of the other pretty crazy brews that are floating around right now. Not to say that we won't see anything interesting in historic, and it's also very important to point out that we could be playing some fetch lands into Hedge Maze and other surveil lands, but what I've chosen to do here is rely on Fabled Passages to make Aetherworks Marvel work. Hedge Maze itself can surveil over something that Aetherworks Marvel triggers off of, and ultimately I think we're going to be just fine here with a Simic land base. So Tune the Narrative is going to help us get there. We really don't need, basically we have 5 4-ofs in this deck that are going to help us make energy counters, and really we don't need much more than that. 5 4-ofs, and I guess you could also count Fabled Passages that as well. So basically with this, we then have a lot of mana and a lot of energy counters to use with Aetherworks Marvel, so we got to figure out what to play with that. And basically we have 2 returning threats. Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger and Ugin the Spirit Dragon probably need no introduction. They're pretty commonly played in a lot of builds. You'll see Ugin just wiping the board and stabilizing any board state pretty much, and Ulamog deals with your opponent's lands, their creatures, whatever is problematic to you at the time, and he's a 10/10 body that will exile your opponent's library in just a few attacks. So those are pretty good cards. We've got 5 total hits out of our about 15 total. And we have some other interesting cards coming out of Modern Horizons 3, though, to take a look at. Number 1 is one of the new modal dual face cards, Drowner of Truth and Drowned Jungle. This is one of the ones that is a creature on the front side and a land on the back side. So this helps us with our land count, which is already somewhat medium to high. And it's also a thing that we can hit off of our Aetherworks Marvel. So we're more likely to get a hit, and we're not sacrificing our lands in order to do so. So this is pretty nice for us. Another cool card that's getting a lot of looks is Null Drifter. For 7 mana, we get a 4/4 Flying Annihilator 1 that draws 2 cards on entry. It's basically like Mull Drifter. And for Evoke 2 and a blue, same as the other card, you can just basically get the draw 2 cards on the front. So this is going to help us find some cards in the early game if we draw it, and it can basically be a pretty scary attacker with Annihilator 1 for our opponent to deal with. And then time for the big ones. Ulamog the Defiler, just the 2 of in this build. When you cast this spell, opponent exiles the top half of their library rounded up. Ward, sack 2 permanents. This thing is not coming off the battlefield once it's played, and it enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the greatest mana value among cards in exile. So we're probably going to get, 3 to 5, I would say, with an Ulamog. And you get Annihilator X, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on it. This thing is going to be huge, hard to deal with, and have a huge amount of Annihilator. So this is going to be a pretty nuts one to play. Hopefully we'll be able to get him out more than a few times. And then finally, Emrakul the World Anew, 12 mana, 12/12. Cast the spell, gain control of all your opponent's creatures. Bunch of protection from everything. Flying. When it leaves the battlefield, you sack all the creatures you control, so they don't go back to your opponent's control. Madness on this card, pay 6 colorless. We're not really doing that in this build, but if you run that Madness deck, that could be a very, very interesting way to make things work. With that being said, though, that's going to be the deck here. This should be a really fun one. We've got a lot of big payoffs. We've got a lot of very good synergy spells when it comes to energy, and I'm hoping that this will have some fun games in it. Before we hop into round 1, make sure to like and comment on the video. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you in round 1. Alright, here we go, round 2. Let's see what we can make happen. This is a situation where we have Drowned Jungle as an opportunity to play. Attune with Aether similarly will get us set up, and then we have Tune the Narrative. Solar Transform is going to give us the mana that we need, or the energy that we need rather, and mana, I guess. I think I'm happy to keep the 7 and just go with a pretty high amount of cards. We are again facing red, and actually we just ripped the Aetherworks Marvel right away, which is sweet. We're going to go with Drawn Jungle here, and then we're going to try to save Fabled Passage as much as possible till Aetherworks Marvel's on the battlefield, because that does represent something for us. If I want to hurt myself, then Cephalid Coliseum does get me to cast Solar Transformer. Enters battlefield tapped. This will help me ramp, so I think it is worth the damage. We do need to worry about Slickshot Show Off really just getting close to killing instead, because that's a very aggressive card. We're going to take our 3 energy here, and next turn probably play Attune with Aether and Solar Transformer, or we can go some combination of this. Looks like we're going to get hit for a decent amount right now. This does hurt. Maybe about 8. Puts us to 10. And this could potentially be bad here. I think I want to avoid taking damage from my Cephalid Coliseum. We'll play another Transformer here. And basically, if we survive the next turn, we should be pretty solid. Let's go Fabled Passage here. We don't need to trigger that with Aetherworks Marvel. Unfortunately, this won't be able to find green due to our land count. It's unfortunate. Or it won't be able to find untapped green. We will still get green. And then I'll decide based on Tune the Narrative if we do anything about this. Now we kind of just wait for our opponent to kill us or not. They definitely can from this position, so I'm a little worried. But let's see if it happens. +3/+0, and this will be just 8 damage, so looks like we will be getting a turn back here. And here we go. So we will actually not even need to go to 1 because we have Fabled Passage here. And we can go Aetherworks Marvel. And I'm thinking that it doesn't really matter if I do this now or not. I will go find the... Do I want blue? I think I will thin my deck with Attune with Aether. That's a little bit better for me. I would like to Surveil or something, but that's not going to happen. And we kind of just need to hit Ulamog here, I think, is what needs to happen. Let's get green. Cast Attune with Aether. We'll thin. We'll get blue this time. And there goes the amount of lands in our library. Good. And we'll pass here. We're going to set it up. We're going to set up a little bit of a Hail Mary here with Aetherworks Marvel. Let's see if it's going to work. They're playing into it. If we are so lucky, let them attack here, and then we have to go Aetherworks Marvel. It's going to have to be Ulamog. Nothing else does it. Let's see if we can get so lucky. That is not going to quite be it. We will have instead a Drowner of Truth as our best card. So we will play that, but we are going to die to the Flying Slipshot and Show Off. Unfortunate. So we will at least take the block, and then we will go to -2. That will unfortunately be it. Actually, let's just check our next card to see how close this reward potentially was. Was it the card on top? It was not, so I don't feel too bad. Alright. Round 2, we are going to go down to an aggressive game plan. We're 1-1 against the red decks. Let's go to round 3, and hopefully we'll play something different than red. But if we do, we'll be able to see who comes out on top in this best of 3. Here we go. Alright, it's round 1, and hopefully we get to start off strong here. I would consider this a pretty good start here. We get a couple lands out early. Attune with Aether is going to find me a basic land, so we'll have our 3rd land drop, and then that means we get Rogue Refiners eventually. It's going to, at this point, be all about finding that Aetherworks Marvel. So we'll keep 7 here, see what opponent's on at the beginning here. We do need to watch out for pitch elementals now. That is a thing that this format is having to deal with now. We're going to start off with an Attune with Aether, finding a blue Manosaurus. We'll get that Tune the Narrative set up potentially. We'll either do that or Solar Transformer. This is another one that I didn't get to talk about in the deck tech. This is the new Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot for us. Enters tapped, gives us 3 energy, but it can also spend our energy to make mana of any color, which is fun. So here on turn 2, we need to make an untapped land drop to play Solar Transformer. Let's start with this guy. This will be ramp in case we need it. Opponent has Sacred Foundry and Mountain held up here. Let's see if that's going to be damage to the face or not. Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot is going to be pretty good in this matchup, especially if we end up having our opponent be on some aggressive game plan. play with fire, so that almost seems like it's going to be the case. And we'll have a tune with Aether here. I can also go Rogue Refiner. I think we'll just play the Boseiju here. We'll play it as the land, go Rogue Refiner here. This draws us a card and gives us energy. We're up to 7, so a Binary Aetherworks Marvel gets us immediately set up here. I could even be interested in attuning with Aether or tune the narrative in. We will see. Weaver's Puzzlenaut's pretty good. We'll go attune with Aether here. Just start to clean the deck a little bit. This is going to help us for a lot of different reasons. I think I'd actually like to get a blue source here since we already have a few green. And then I'm going to have 4 mana next turn. And that'll be exactly enough for Aetherworks Marvel. So we'll play this. And then hopefully we'll be set up. Opponent might be able to deal with any artifacts on the battlefield, but we do have enough for 1 activation with Aetherworks Marvel. I think what I'll do is just go... We don't need to make any more energy right now, so I will Surveil here, trying to set things up. We'll leave a big hitter on top, or we will Surveil the Solar Transformer into the graveyard, which will increase our odds at hitting with Aetherworks Marvel, and we will set a stop at our opponent's end step and try to cast something. So we're all set up. Let's see what they have for us here. Just some damage to the face, totally fine, I'm not worried. And here we go. Sovereign Triumph, they're definitely not doing well on lands, and now we see that they're actually just Jeskai control. Good to know. So we've hit one of our Ulamog the Defilers so far. Let's activate Aetherworks Marvel here, see what we hit. Resolve, and we will find nothing super good. I think our best hit is either Null Drifter or Drowner of Truth. I think with my opponent not having very many things, Null Drifter is the move since it does have Annihilator. We get to draw 2 more cards here, which is great. It's another Aetherworks Marvel. That's perfect for us. And here we're going to look to get as close to 6 energy as possible. Let's go ahead and work with Woodweaver's Puzzlenaut, which is pretty much exactly what we need. We can Fabled Passage and activate Woodweaver's Puzzlenaut at our leisure in order to get set up here. We're going to attack here. Opponent's got Annihilator 1 and has to sack a land, which is going to feel bad for them. And it looks like they're going to give us the game here. Pretty strong round 1 here. Got to do the thing with Aetherworks Marvel. Got one of our Annihilated triggers off. Couldn't be happier. Let's hop into round 2 and see if the next one is going to go just as well for us. Alright, here it is. This is round 4. This is a way to get a bunch of energy, which is nice. We have Ugin, who is typically not one that we want to see in the opener. I could mulligan. Opponent has gone first and kept a hand of 7, so I think with that, I will keep 7. If I was on the play, if I was on the play and was making my decision first, I maybe would have thought about not keeping this hand, or if they had mulligan. Either way, I'm trying to decide if we want to start slow or fast here. We see black. Could be scam, could be pretty much anything at this point. Let's start to thin our deck a little bit and start looking towards drawing our Aetherflux Reservoir. Not Aetherflux Reservoir, Aetherworks Marvel, excuse me. We'll find blue since we just played green and say go. Second swamp and pass. Let's drop that blue now, go for Solar Transformer. Always a decent one. And if opponent doesn't have anything to say about it, we're just going to ramp out here. Order the Accursed, so we were playing zombies. Alright, Amonkhet card here. We have 3 mana, using one of our energy. I can either play Rogue Refiner, Shocker Breeding Pool, and play a Tune of Aether, or I can play a tapped Drowner of Truth and then just a Rogue Refiner. We're not really dealing with too much aggressive gameplay, so I will just do this. Woodweaver's Puzzlenaut gets me closer to the inevitable goal here. We'll play a tapped land, and we have 4 mana, 7 energy. Alright, now for the Betrayal King, we're doing something different today. It's just going to be zombies, and we have the zombie lords out in force here. We're not blocking, we're just taking the damage. Aetherworks Marvel is here, and we're just going to go off. I want to maintain my energy counter, so I will play the Aetherworks Marvel. We will also play Breeding Pool. Alright, spin that deck a little bit more, and get ready for the activation. We'll pass. Hold it there end step, and actually I probably want to do the activation on attacks. Let's see what goes down here. Alright, they're going to destroy this pre-combat. That's going to actually give us an energy, which is nice. We hate exile, we don't really mind a destroy. And let's see if there's anything that comes here. We'll activate Aetherworks Marvel, see if they have a counter spell or something weird. Look at the top 6. This is going to be Ulamog, or we can cast a new Emrakul. Let's do this. So we're going to gain control of all their attacking creatures here. How about we be the zombie deck? Let's go. Alright, so now we actually have lethal right on board. Let's get in there, move to combat, and attack in. So that is a combat step, instant speed, 180-degree table turn of a game right there. That was really, really sick. Got to play the new Emrakul. That is a bucket list item for me now. Protection from spells, protection from permanents that were cast this turn. Yoink, 8 power right off the top here. Pretty darn sweet. Thank you, Aetherworks Marvel, for making this happen. Pretty sweet round 4. Let's go into round 5. We have one more attempt at this thing. Here we go. Alright, this is round 3. Done well so far. Could have gone a little bit better in terms of not dying so early to red, but I think this hand, if we were to play another red deck, would be pretty solid. We do have the Ulamog in hand, but that's fine because Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot is going to give us some weapons to work with. So I think we go Solar Transformer on 2, go Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot on 3, then into Aetherworks Marvel, or except actually we can go Solar Transformer into Aetherworks Marvel, and that's a little bit better. Alright, so we're going to have 4 mana next turn, just enough for Marvel. Opponent is really looking like they are on prime time, so I got to be worried about that. Last Stone comes down. They are looking at the Solar Transformer, not the end of the world. I could consider doing something with Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, because if they hold this mana up, they may end up going to 2, and then I might end up without Aetherworks Marvel available. That's not going to be the case, in fact. We will actually just end up getting this Aetherworks Marvel right on board. Should I play this now or later? I think if I go Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, that gives me 2 more mana, which is not enough to do anything else, so we may as well spend 4 here. Go for the Marvel. They do not have mana up to do anything about it, so that's good. No blue mana to counter it. That's great. Cascading Cataracts, though, and this is Golar's Tireless Pilgrim. Not really what I expected. Let's see what they find. I guess this is Field of the Dead, unless they're doing something else. The World Tree, going to give them all types of colors. It may end up not mattering because we do have our Aetherworks Marvel set up here. I play the Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot in this situation, and we have enough mana in order to activate Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Let's do that now. Get another energy here through Aetherworks Marvel. We'll find green here since we have primarily blue at the moment. And we have the 3 mana in order to activate Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, and we have the 7 or 6 energy required to activate Aetherworks Marvel. So let's see what their next play is. It's going to be Primeval Titan. This is one, or our deck is one where we can really only deal with things that are on the battlefield, so we have to let the Primeval Titan trigger go off first. They have 4 unique lands, so these 2 will bring them to 6. They do not have Spelunking, so they can't give Prime Time haste with Hanwar Barracks, or whatever that card is called. Hanwar Garrison, I think is the name of the card, and a red source, so that is good to see. It will be Labyrinth of Scophos plus Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. Okay, cool. So we will let them attack, and then I think we just go for the Aetherworks Marvel. We are setting up to be able to do one this turn and the next turn, which is nice. Well, let's do this now that they've attacked. Let's see what we'll find. Null Drifter is fine. Annihilator is going to help us out a lot, and it's really our only good hit here. We get to draw 2. Hopefully they'll be good ones. They are definitely good ones. They're both not payoffs, and they're things that we want to do with our mana. And we will at least be able to block Golas and not have our creature die. So let's do that. Bang, bang. And then let's activate that Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. We'll go up to 4, and then 5 with Aetherworks Marvel in terms of energy. Next turn we'll be able to go again. We're going to attack with Annihilator this turn. That's great. We have second Marvel here, which is kind of nice. Don't have enough mana to actually do both of these things, unfortunately, but I'll be able to go to 9 this turn if I play both Tune the Narratives, and then 10 if I sack the Aetherworks Marvel, so not really worth it to Legend Rule it right now. We'll just attack in. Now later 1, they'll probably sack the Grazer, I guess. That is their only potential blocker against this thing, though, which is nice. And then right now, we're in a situation where we need to get ready to cast an Ulamog eventually. I'm also 1 mana away from a Drowner of Truth hard cast, which is nice. This will come in tapped. I think we'll go Tune the Narrative now, looking to see if we get anything good. This Fabled Passage arguably could have been good. And then the question is, are we going to get something for 2 to 3 mana that's worth casting with Tune the Narrative? We may, so I will try it. Unfortunately, we got a Drowner of Truth, which I'd rather cast off of Aetherworks Marvel. We will end turn here. Alright. So they have to battle the Annihilator triggers. They will have Primeval Titan be a thing, though. Golos is going to activate here, and it's going to be some big spells against big spells here. A Nissa and a Primeval Titan, that's scary. They might have a lot of creatures here soon. For us, it's actually not that big of a problem. One of our Ulamogs, or not Ulamogs, one of our Ugins is enough to take out all the Primeval Titans and the Nissa. Only Golos would be left, and that's fine. Yeah, I think we'll lose our Null Drifter because it is technically blue, and Golos is technically 5 colors, so those, I believe, are not, because they're not devoid, will have a color identity, and thus will die to Ugin. Actually, our Null Drifter should be fine because it's 7 CMC. Golos will die, though, at least if I understand the rules correctly. I think they go for Primeval Titan here. I actually don't see a Field of the Dead, which is surprising. We're going to make an indestructible 3/3 land. I'm not super psyched about seeing. That's going to eat into my life total quite a lot. We'll wait for the attacks here, see what happens. I take it, Primeval Titan goes in. Alright. We'll let them resolve this first. And we're going to look for a cheeky block here. This is a deck that definitely can just flip the game in a second, so let's see what happens here. We'll go Aetherworks Marvel. I'm hoping for a good hit here. Let's go. Unlucky again. We find a Drowner of Truth, though. That is fine. We don't get any of the colorless Eldrazi Scion tokens, but that's fine. This will be a good trade for Primeval Titan, potentially. Or it can eat Golos, who's actually been more of a problem, so I'm interested in doing that. Move to blockers, see what they allow us to do. Let's pass on. We'll make our block on Golos. We will still take 9, which is definitely not a great feeling. But could be worse. With this Fabled Passage, I think that gives us enough mana to play Drowner of Truth. We then won't have enough... we won't have enough energy, though, in order to really be set up here, though. That's a little awkward. Guy's Blessing, shuffle some stuff in, and we go to our turn. Nothing to play here. We'll pass. Cephalid Coliseum's getting close to being useful. I think I'll play this. We'll go to 4 with the Fabled Passage activation. And what color of land would I want? I have a Cephalid Coliseum, so let me take green. And then this is enough to just play another Drowner of Truth, which is nice. I can hit Nissa for 4. I can kill her next turn. Things seem ideal here. Unfortunately, or actually there is enough colorless mana for the Solar Transformer, which is perfect. This helps us get very close to an Ulamog next turn. And I think we can see if they want to trade for Primeval Titan here. I'll allow them to save Nissa potentially. And I think we will attack with the Null Drifter. Annihilator will trigger. We need to make sure that we're always attacking with this thing. Maybe they use Mind Stone. That makes sense. They want to keep the creatures around. We block one of the Primeval Titans. I'm happy to take 6, and looks like they were making the expected blocking blocking the Drowner, letting Null Drifter hit. We're gonna pass here. And next turn is going to be kind of telling. What's going to happen is either I find something. Oh, they have an Ulamog themselves. So Aetherworks dies. It actually would be great if Aetherworks dies. Null Drifter and Aetherworks, those are really not too bad for me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana with Solar Transformer. If they don't take any of my mana producing sources, I can actually just Ulamog them back next turn. Perfect, they didn't do it. That is totally fine. Alright. Their Ulamog's a little scary for the time being. It's another Primeval Titan. I'm kind of just throwing impactful spells back and forth at each other right now. That is definitely hard to deal with. Should be able to kill Nissa this turn. And we actually might be in danger of dying here, so I might not be able to cast my Ulamog next turn. How bad is that for me? It's pretty bad. So then I think my next play to survive is to rip a card off the top that produces energy, play Aetherworks Marvel, and then wipe the board. It's not a very high percentage outcome. We're going to see if it works, though. Definitely a different build of Primeval Titan. We're definitely seeing some historic spice here, and I'm all for it. Primeval times 2, so this is 12, 15, 18. I do need to block once. And then if that's the case, I may as well block twice with my Scions. Or with my Abrasive Spawns. I think I'm okay to go to 5. And I think actually now that the Ulamog is around, this is pretty bad for me. But let's see what happens. Good choices here. They appear to not play Field of the Dead, which kind of just seems like a mistake in a Primeval Titan deck. This game would have definitely been over if they were playing that, let me tell you that much. We will block once, and that will just barely keep me alive at 2 life. Is there a world where I'm going to be sad that I lose this mana? Solar Transformer makes 1. I'll have 1 through the Scion. That's 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, with the Cephalid Colosseum putting me down to 1, that would be only 9 mana. So I think we just go ahead and block here. Ulamog is unfortunately not coming. And I think we actually just have to we have to make a very narrow pass here of hitting the right card and then activating Aetherworks Marvel and then hitting the right payoff. Let's see if it can happen. So let's see if it can happen. It's Aetherworks Marvel. That doesn't quite do it, sadly. Is there a way that this can work out? I don't think so. The Aetherworks Marvel itself doesn't give energy. I think if I were to lose Drowner of Truth and then Legend Rule my Aetherworks Marvel would work out. Okay. We have to attack all in. Actually, let me just do this at face. No. Okay, I gotta think about this. I want to incentivize them to block the Drowner of Truth. I'm gonna do this at face, that at Nissa. Annihilator 1, they have to sack something. We'll lose a land, I guess. Whatever. And then if they block Drowner of Truth, we might be able to win. Oh wait, no we won't. I'm gonna be exactly at 6 mana, but it will take me, or 6 energy. But it's gonna cost me mana to get the 8th, or it's gonna cost me an energy to get the last. No, did I miss something? Drowner of Truth hits the graveyard. It should be a permanent. Ah, I don't have Aetherworks Marvel on the battlefield. Okay, kind of a mistake. It is what it is. That would have given me the next mana that I needed, and then, I mean, I still have to do the Cephalid Colosseum, and this Solar Transformer requires 1 energy. So it doesn't quite work out. We're going to get to be able to show 5 out of 6 energy here. Yeah. Wait. Am I wrong? Yeah, I went from 5 to 4. Oh no, I would have actually been there. Okay, that's unfortunate. Kind of a misplay. Oh wait, no. Ah, because 2 Aetherworks Marvels on the battlefield. Okay, I've lucked backwards into it. We activate here in case we hit Ugin, and we have to exactly hit Ugin here. Can we do it? That is an Ugin. And unfortunately, because I attacked the Null Drifter, we are not going to be able to survive. But I can -6 and pretty much kill most of their board. Cool. That was pretty close. Unfortunately, not going to make it for us, especially because the Cascading Cataracts are a colorless land. And yeah, so it didn't really matter in the end. I would have been punished for my misplay if I hadn't just like randomly backwards walked into it. And then yeah, this ended the way it was supposed to. Ulamog's going to attack in for 10. We're going to lose half of our library, and that will be game. Regardless of the misplay, still kind of an interesting game to see. We really just hit it back and forth here. I am really surprised by this build, not going to lie. I think that, you know, all of the Primeval Titans and Ulamogs are not necessarily the best mesh, but, you know, running Nissa and doing some big mana green things is something that's worth testing out. So, pretty cool deck, and let's hop into round 4.